Hello everyone, it's I, WhackyAnimeWhatIF here to present you with What If Issei Had the Yandere Gear? Part 5, The Catastrophe. What If continues with Issei as he releases the primal roar and then charges at Kurumi at blinding speeds, and then appears directly behind her before she could even react, and Issei immediately cut her directly in half with his flesh blade. And as he does so, Issei just releases another roar and kicks her upper half of her body away from her lower half, and then rushes towards his previous victims that he thought were dead but are now alive. And as he rushes towards them, he grabs Kiba by the face and slams him against the ground over and over, and then starts to stab him brutally with the flesh blade. Directly in the stomach, directly in the legs, directly in the arms, stabbing him basically everywhere. And Kiba can't do a damn thing because Issei's way too quick. And Issei just casually throws him towards Rias, as Rias threw a power of destruction ball towards Issei. The power of destruction hit Kiba instead and killed him as it blew his head clean off. And Issei just charged directly at Rias, as Rias was shocked, and she was absolutely in grief that she killed Kiba, but she saw Issei directly in front of her, and she figured she's about to die. But all of a sudden, there was a flintlock shot directly at Issei from behind. And as it hit him in the back, all of a sudden he stopped and froze in midair. As Kurumi walks directly behind Issei, it just says, "That's my fourth bullet, Dalit. I can keep you frozen directly in time for a certain duration. Basically, you're going to be unable to move." And as Kurumi says this, she walks closer towards Issei and then starts to shoot his armor directly with her fourth bullet. As it rewinds time, it doesn't just rewind injuries, it rewinds the physical state, meaning the armor that's on Issei started to vanish as if it was never there. And as Kurumi ended up spamming these bullets on Issei, the armor started vanishing a little by little, but Rias, who was basically having an entire breakdown in front of Kiba's corpse, ended up freaking out and throwing a ball of destruction towards Issei, who was frozen in stasis. And as the ball of destruction hit Issei's left arm, it ended up removing it. And it also ended up interrupting the stasis that Issei was in. And as Issei was out of the stasis and there was still some of the armor from the obsession gear still on him, and he was still out of control, he ended up regenerating the armor, looked towards Kurumi, grabbed her by the neck, and then slammed her directly into Rias, and then started to look both of them dead in the eyes and laugh in their face. And as Issei does this, they notice his laugh is very sinister, and to Kurumi, it reminds her of Brawly from Dragon Ball Z. And Kurumi, in her mind, thinks, "Ah, nah, we're fucking cooked." And as Kurumi thinks this, she noticed that she was correct as she tried to aim her flintlock and musket at Issei to fire at him and use the fourth bullet to either reverse his armor so that he can get towards a more normal state, or at least a more weakened state, or to at least try to freeze him in time. And yeah, she couldn't do either of those options, as her arms were just fucking gone. Like, the instant she looked, they were just cut clean off. And she saw directly in front of her, just like not even a few inches from her, is Issei, just having both her severed arms and both of his hands, and he's just holding them and they're holding the fucking guns. They're holding her musket and they're holding her flintlock. And immediately Kurumi thinks, oh, okay, I don't know what to do in this situation. Oh, wait, I have clones. And a clone just shoots her directly in the back with the fourth bullet, Dalit. And she immediately has the arms come back towards her as they leave Issei's hands and do so. Immediately, Kurumi fires her flintlock directly at Issei and fired a stasis bullet just to freeze Issei in time. She fired her seventh bullet, and as it fired and hit him, Issei was stuck. And she kept on firing her fourth bullet at Issei until he was completely out of his berserk state, and the armor was gone, and he was just in his normal plain state. And as he was, she immediately felt relief. And as soon as she saw that he was perfectly fine and that he was just unconscious, she just picked him up and walked away. Just didn't even look towards the remaining of the ORC, which really isn't much left. Just Akeno and Rias, as everyone else is dead. And as Kurumi walked away, she ended up thinking, honestly, it could have been worse. She casually went all the way towards Issei's house while carrying Issei on her back. And as she was at the front door of Issei's house, Issei had just woken up and saw that Kurumi is carrying him. And he just, just pulls himself off of her back and just stands up on his own, looks towards her, and says, what happened? As Issei doesn't remember anything that happened previously when he entered his berserk state, he asks Kurumi. And Kurumi just looks at her and says, oh, nothing you need to worry about currently. I'll tell you later. But you should probably go inside. Your parents are probably, well, they're not there, actually, now that I think about it. As they went on a business trip, didn't they? And as Kurumi says this towards Issei, Issei just confirms and says, yes, they went on a business trip, so they're not there. But, what does that have to do with anything? And Kurumi just says, oh, that means I'm just gonna go ahead and stay with you until they come back. She immediately just opens the door with a key. And Issei just says, bitch, when did you get a key? And Kurumi just looks towards Issei and says, you'll never know. And she just walks inside. Issei just runs inside, closes the door, locks it, and just says, nah, get out my house, you creepy bitch. And as Issei says this, he starts to chase her. And that's where we end the What If. Well, at least this part. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, make sure you smash that like button, make sure you destroy that subscribe button, and I'll see you all next time. I'm sorry if this part was really short. I'll be honest, I'm kind of running out of inspiration. I before had a lot of inspiration when I first started the channel, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of dried out. I've been trying to make scripts and none of them really meet my standards, and they don't meet the standards that I want to provide them to you. Main reason why I'm posting this video is because I want you guys to at least know that I'm trying to keep my promises on the uploads. Although I really wish I could do better on this. I'm very sorry. But see you all next time.